GOLD participants from around the world. I'm Fiona Langsharp, IBCLC Public Relations Manager and MC for GOLD Learning. I'm chatting here today with Dr. Jocelyn Toohill, who is having her upcoming presentation at our GOLD Perinatal Conference, and it is titled Understanding, Confronting, and Reducing Childbirth Fear. Welcome, Jocelyn. It's great to have you here today.
Oh, thank you so much, Fiona.
Well, as we were talking just offline there, I just mentioned I'm really excited to hear more about what you are doing because I think this is something that affects so many women in every part of the world. You know, there's a woman who is fearful of birth. So I'm just so grateful that you've been able to do something and you've been studying this. So I can't wait till you share some more about it. But firstly, why don't you introduce yourself to our listening audience today? Tell them a little bit about yourself and about your professional journey.
Well, I live in Australia. I commenced nursing before I did midwifery, and I actually commenced nursing as a cadet nurse at the age of 16.
Wow.
And I had a bit of a windy journey to my midwifery career, but I became a midwife in the early 90s and worked in various areas across the state of Queensland in various roles. And just in the last 6 years or so, I commenced a PhD, and I was specifically interested in speaking with women and learning more from women about their childbirth fear and how, as a midwife, we could actually improve the outcomes for women. And I guess as a midwife, we know that we probably know the maternity services more intimately than anyone else, and so I guess we really have a valid and a strong place to come from to be able to help these women for what should be a very normal life event and a joyous event, but we know for some women that's not the case. So yes, I did my PhD with a randomized control trial. We screened 1,400 women for childbirth fear, and we trained midwives to provide psychoeducation. And we found that from that study, we were able to significantly reduce women's fear and also clinically decrease the number of cesarean sections by 8%. So it was quite interesting and a very, very important thing to do. So now I'm very interested in trying to educate more midwives to provide psychoeducation for women who may have fear.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. And, you know, it seems like this topic hasn't gotten a lot of attention up until now, you know, and talking, I'm glad to hear there's something being done. I'm just curious to hear more about how others have responded to your research and to the results that now you're teaching. Has it been all positive? Have you had a lot of support in this area, Jocelyn?
Yes, we have actually. I work part of a team, a perinatal mental health team at Griffith University, and we have had a number of people, but of course it's around funding and capacity and availability to actually be able to train as many people as what would like. So we were approached by the Gold Coast University Hospital to train some of their staff. We have done that with 22 midwives, and what we have found is through midwives actually gaining more confidence in their communication skills, that without having any formal session, just in routine care of women, that has been enough to decrease women's fear levels as well. So just good communication skills with midwives, listening to women, what are their concerns, and addressing them openly and honestly has made a huge difference. But also we provide group counselling sessions for couples now as well, and even with those not always necessarily being one-on-one, but in a group session, we're finding that both of the pairs of the couple are feeling much more excited about their upcoming birth and feeling that they're going to be able to manage things in a much more positive way.
Yeah, and that's really, I mean, those are the results that you were hoping for, and that's great to see that it's actually being managed that way as well. Well, lastly, before I let you go, and it's been great listening and chatting with you today, can you maybe tell me, without giving too much away, Jocelyn, just share a little bit about what you're most excited to share with our delegates during your presentation?
I think just how positive psychoeducation delivered by midwives can be for improving the outcomes for women, both as far as their obstetric outcomes, but also their perinatal mental health.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. And thank you for sitting down with me today and sharing a little bit more about yourself and your upcoming presentation. I'm certainly looking forward to it, and it's going to be on October 18th. And we'll look forward to having you here. And if you're coming and listening to it from, of course, from Queensland, it will be 9 a.m. on the Wednesday, the 19th, because I know some of you will be signing in from the Australias, which is fantastic. Well, thank you again, Jocelyn. It's been lovely having you here today.
Thank you, Fiona. My pleasure.
And thank you again to all of our listening audience. Bye bye for now.